is Steve Mungai, born and raised in Thika, Kenya. I've always wanted to be a doctor since I was as young as I could remember. As to what kind of doctor that has changed as I went on with life. For my primary school education, I did it in Thika. Then when I went to high school in Pioneer School, Moranga, that's when I realized I had a passion for pediatrics. And after finishing my Form 4, I did IB at Aga Khan Academy, Nairobi. And that's where I came in contact with one of my academic advisors who had expressed my interest in medicine and advised me to look at St. George's University as an option. When I looked at St. George's University, I was thoroughly impressed and bewildered how beautiful the place was. And I wanted to explore more, so I did a bit of research and I made my decision, and I knew that's why I wanted to do my medicine. So as I did my research, I found out that St. George's University was the best place that I could do because it would allow me to get into medicine without having to do an undergraduate for 4 years or however long I would have to do pre-med, and I would just get straight into the system and do medicine straight from IB. St. George's University is in Grenada, but that is just the location. It's a beautiful location for you to do medicine, but the accreditation of St. George's University goes beyond the Caribbean. It goes to the US, it goes to the UK. When you leave St. George's University, you leave there as a physician ready to work in the workforce in the US, in the UK, or even back home if you choose to do so. And so I know a lot of people have that fear of what is medicine in the Caribbean and what does that mean for them in the future. But it has not been a hindrance for anybody who has done medicine in St. George's University. Most of the accreditation is done in the US, so there's no problem whatsoever to be able to do medicine in the US or anywhere else in this world. Going into clinicals with students from all sorts of backgrounds, top universities, and being in the same space as them, going through the same rotations, being taught by the same attendings, one thing stood out to me is that I knew I belonged there. The training that I'd received from SGU had prepared me to be able to stand together, shoulder to shoulder with people from Harvard, from people from NYT, people from NYU, and what I was able to put forth was appreciated by the attendings and the other residents to be able to show that I stood as tall as anybody else. One advantage I had as an international student going through St. George's University was how accessible resources were to me and aid, what should I ever needed. If I needed to approach the dean on a maybe humanitarian level, I was able to do so. If I needed to approach the Department of Educational Service, I was able to do so. If I needed to approach the International Student Office, maybe because I felt I needed a more international need met, I was able to do so. And the other thing international students are able to have advantage of is the fact that we can access financial aid should the need arises at any point, whether it be scholarships or the school's own financial aid. Marching into the US residency was the most beautiful feeling I ever had in my life. It was years of hard work coming together in one beautiful moment, and I thank so much St. George's University for preparing me for such a time. I was at home surrounded by my family, and as we opened that email together to see where it is that I was going, finding out this is a place that I've always wanted to end up in, I could not describe that moment, and they will forever live in my memories. As I leave Kenya to start my residency in the US, I'm very excited and I'm very looking forward to the training that I'll be able to get into and to be able to be a part of, the resources that will be at my disposal, all the different technological advancements that will prepare me to be able to eventually become a neonatologist. And eventually, when I'm able to come back home, bring those expertise and be able to enhance our healthcare system and help my fellow citizens in a manner that I would not have been able to had I not started this journey at St. George's University. So for anybody leaving high school, my advice would be consider St. George's University. Once you're accepted in St. George's University, you are guaranteed to be able to get into the medicine program and furthermore proceed and enter into residency afterward. So I would very much advise to consider St. George's University as an option, because it will open doors for you that you would otherwise think would be a hindrance, or you'd have to do undergraduate before that. It goes straight into medicine.